Hi and welcome to John's Maths Book. In this video, we'll be exploring another key concept in mathematics. If you find this tutorial helpful, then please show your support by subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Your positive engagement helps me create more content and allows me to bring you more valuable maths lessons. Without further ado, let's go over to the whiteboard. Let's use triple integrals and spherical coordinates to find the volume of a sphere. I appreciate there are other simpler ways of doing this, like using the formula for the volume of a sphere. However, this example serves to demonstrate the techniques and steps of using spherical coordinates and triple integration. For more complicated examples, you'll need to use these techniques, as there will be no simple formula. In this example, the sphere has the equation z squared is equal to 16 minus into the bracket of x squared plus y squared in Cartesian form, and has symmetry about the x, y, and z axis. Let's take a look at the sphere in 3D form using a graphing tool. So this is the sphere, and we're going to try and find the volume within. As we can see, it's symmetrical about the x, y, and z axis, with the upper hemisphere above the xy plane and the lower hemisphere below the xy plane. Our first step in the process of finding the volume is to convert the Cartesian equation of the sphere into spherical coordinates. So we need to convert x, y, and z to rho, theta, and phi. And the way we do this is to make a substitution. So we let z equal rho multiplied by cos phi, x equal rho multiplied by sin phi multiplied by cos theta, and y equal rho multiplied by sin phi multiplied by sin theta. And our Cartesian equation is z squared is equal to 16 minus into the bracket of x squared plus y squared. And after making the substitution, we're left with rho squared multiplied by cos squared phi is equal to 16 minus rho squared multiplied by sin squared phi into the bracket of cos squared theta plus sin squared theta. Using the trig identity where cos squared theta plus sin squared theta is equal to 1, we're left with rho squared multiplied by cos squared phi is equal to 16 minus rho squared sin squared phi. And simplifying this, we have rho squared into the bracket of cos squared phi plus sin squared phi is equal to 16. And again, using the trig identity where cos squared phi plus sin squared phi is equal to 1, we have rho squared is equal to 16, and taking the positive square root gives rho equal to 4. And so in spherical coordinates, the equation of the sphere is rho equals 4. And to find the volume, we need to integrate over the region E and some infinitesimally small pieces of volume, shown here as dv. We need to unpack this and define our region using spherical coordinates. This will give us our limits of integration for rho, theta, and phi, and then look at what dv equates to in this context. So let's start with the limits of integration for rho. To help us understand the region, this diagram is a view along the z-axis from the xy plane. In spherical coordinates, rho is the radial distance from the origin to a point in space. So in our example, rho goes from the origin, where it's equal to 0, to the boundary of the sphere, where we know rho is equal to 4 in spherical coordinates. And these represent the upper and lower limits of integration for rho. Next, let's look at the limits of integration for phi. Phi is the angle measured from the positive z-axis to the line segment connecting a point in the 3D space. We know that phi must be greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 180 degrees or pi radians. In our example, the sphere extends above and below the xy plane, and so phi begins at 0 and ends at pi radians. And so the limits of integration are from phi equals 0 at the lower limit to the upper limit where phi equals pi radians. And for theta, let's use this diagram to look down the z-axis onto the xy plane, which shows the intersection of the two hemispheres of the sphere, forming a circle. In spherical coordinates, theta represents the angle of rotation in the xy plane around the circular shape and is measured from the positive x-axis in a counterclockwise direction. So in our case, theta begins at 0 and goes full circle, which equates to 2 pi radians or 360 degrees. So the lower limit of integration for theta is 0 and the upper limit is 2 pi radians. So we've finished defining our region using the limits of integration. Let's now unpack what we're integrating. In our case, dv. dv represents infinitesimally small pieces of volume, and we are using triple integrals to sum each of these to get the total volume. Let's look at the dimensions of one of these. So if we look at the red shaded region, this represents dv and is an infinitesimally small piece of volume. We could think of this as a tiny rectangular box where the volume is given by the length multiplied by the width multiplied by the height. So let's apply this volume formula to the red shaded region. We can see that the height dimension, circled here, is along the radial distance ρ, and is represented by an infinitesimally small piece of ρ, which we call d ρ. If we extend lines down from the rectangular box, we see that the width dimension of the box, circled here, also lies parallel to the xy plane, circled here, and is the arc of a circle where the radius of the circle we saw was r when using cylindrical coordinates. We also saw that r translated to ρ sine phi when using spherical coordinates. The width dimension is therefore the arc length of a circle, which we know is the radius of the circle, in this case ρ sine phi, multiplied by the central angle, which is infinitesimally small, and in this case is d theta. And the length dimension of the rectangular box, circled here, lies along the arc of a circle, and this dimension is calculated by multiplying the radius of this circle, which we know is ρ, by the central angle, which is infinitesimally small, and in this case d phi. So the length dimension is ρ multiplied by d phi. If we multiply these dimensions together, we see that dv is equal to ρ squared multiplied by the sine of phi, d ρ, d phi, d theta. And we sum all these infinitesimally small pieces of volume using triple integrals to get the total volume. So we now have our triple integral where we're integrating ρ squared multiplied by sine phi, d ρ, d phi, d theta. So let's begin the evaluation process, beginning with the integral for ρ. So we want to integrate from ρ equals 0 to ρ equals 4, ρ squared sine phi d ρ. And using the power rule to evaluate this, we get ρ cubed divided by 3 multiplied by sine phi. And plugging in the limits of integration, we have 64 divided by 3 multiplied by sine phi minus 0. So this equals 64 divided by 3 multiplied by sine phi. Moving on to our middle integral, we want to integrate from phi equals 0 to phi equals pi, 64 divided by 3 multiplied by sine phi d phi. And this evaluates to minus 64 divided by 3 multiplied by cos phi. And if we plug in the limits of integration, we get 64 divided by 3 plus 64 divided by 3, which is equal to 128 divided by 3. And for the outer integral, we want to integrate from theta equals 0 to theta equals 2 pi, 128 divided by 3 d theta. And using the power rule, this evaluates to 128 divided by 3 multiplied by theta. And plugging in the limits of integration, we get 256 divided by 3 multiplied by pi minus 0. And this gives us our final result. So the volume of the sphere is 256 divided by 3 multiplied by pi.